Hello everybody, this is my lesson plan 2 for KENS 315. Alright, so the grade I chose was 5th grade. The teacher's me, Aiden Holman. The team game I'm playing is basketball. For the lesson content is to create a multiple basketball game activity that contributes to the larger game that incorporates synergy opportunities. For the assessments that for the state standards that I'm using, I am for psychomotor I'm using 1.6, throw and catch an object underhand and overhand while avoiding an opponent. For cognitive, I'm using 2.1, explain the importance of open space and playing sports related games. And for effective, I'm using 5.6, acknowledge orally the contributions and strengths of others. And how I'm measuring and assessing these learning objectives is for psychomotor is for the teacher will take a formal observation and side notes of the student's performance on their ability to throw and catch an object underhand and overhand while avoiding an opponent. For cognitive, the teacher will ask a formal survey at the end of the lesson to see if the students can explain the importance of open space in playing sports-related games. For effective, the teacher will ask a formal survey at the end of the lesson to see if the students can acknowledge orally the contributions and strengths in others. And this is just restating what I just said. All right. So the equipment that I'm using in my lesson plan is just basketball. It's just enough for the entire class, as well as a basketball court gym. Jeez. So the first activity will be activity 1. This activity will occur on a half court. This activity task will entail one group of 3 students playing offense while another group of 3 students play defense. The goal for the offensive team is to pass the ball around with their group and shoot a basket. The goal for the defensive team is to stop the offensive team from shooting a point. Once one of the offensive students gets the ball, they can no longer move their feet. Once the ball leaves the student's hand, the student can move around again. The offensive team is forced to either shoot for the basket or pass the ball to another teammate. Once the offensive team makes a basket or the defensive team successfully defends the basket, the group switches roles. The students are highly encouraged to communicate with their team. For the game modifications or affordances, the affordances being used is the action possibility. The affordances being used is the action possibilities between either passing the ball or shooting. The student can use these affordances to make the most beneficial choices. The synergy opportunities for each domain. First, cognitive, the synergy opportunity being used here is the student can see the spacing within the players and decide whether shooting the ball or passing it to improve their team synergy when making a goal. For effective, the synergy opportunity used here is the players are highly encouraged to communicate with their team, understanding when someone has a better position or a better opponent matchup to either pass it to or not. For psychomotor, the synergy opportunity used here is the combination of communication within the team as well as seeing the spacing within the players. Students can throw, shoot, and catch the ball while avoiding an opponent. And the time is 10 minutes for that activity. For activity 2, this activity task will be a modified version of Monkey in the Middle. The goal for the monkey is to swat down the passing ball overhead. The monkey can be as close as one arm length away from the passing team. The passing team's objective is to pass the ball around the monkey to rally up consecutive catches. Once the monkey intercepts the ball or knocks it down, a new monkey is replaced and the game starts over. The students are highly encouraged to communicate with their team. The affordances being used for the action possibilities between throwing underhand or throwing overhand and the direction of the throw as well as the spacing of the monkey. The students can use these affordances to make better beneficial choices. For the synergy opportunities for cognitive, the synergy opportunity used here is the student can see the spacing between the monkey and their team. Their team can move around and get a better passing angle. For effective, the synergy opportunity used here is when the student can acknowledge when a strategy may work better than others. For example, if the monkey is taller than both of the players, one of the students can communicate to their partner to move around or signal where they are going to throw to increase synergy performance outcome. For psychomotor, the synergy opportunity used here is the combined communication with the player as well as seeing the spacing within the monkey. Students can throw and catch the ball while avoiding the opponent. And that is 10 minutes. For activity number 3, this activity is the game of knockout. The group of students will stand behind one of the 3 throw lines. Only one basketball is required. The students will take turns shooting free throw shots. When the first student shoots, the student behind them starts their shot as well. The students keep trying to make a basket until one of them does. The goal for the first student is to make the basket before the second student does. If the second student makes the basket before the first student is out. Once someone makes a basket, they return to the end of the line. Once someone makes a basket, the pressure continues until someone misses. Once they do, there is no more pressure until another shot is made. This cycle continues until there is a winner. The students are highly encouraged to support their group mates when they are not shooting themselves, giving positive reinforcement. The affordances being used for the action possibilities between throwing overhand as well as the spacing and pressure of the other players shooting. The students can use these affordances to make the most beneficial choices. For the synergy opportunities being used, the synergy for cognitive, the synergy opportunity used here is when the student can see the spacing between themselves and the next player shooting. For example, they can position themselves in a manner that gives the best possibility to make a basket. For effective, the synergy opportunity used here is when the student can support their group mates when they are not shooting themselves, giving positive reinforcements. For example, having someone say a positive comment can give the student more confidence in making the basket. For psychomotor, the synergy opportunity used here is the combined understanding of the spacing of the other players and the positive reinforcement comments made by the group mates. The student can shoot for the baskets while avoiding/accommodating for the other player shooting. And that is 10 minutes for the activity. For activity 4, it is the full game activity. It is the last activity that is a full game of basketball. Each team will be split up evenly. There's no modifications for this game. It is just a regular basketball game for 15 minutes. The affordances being used for the action possibilities between throwing to the other teammates as well as avoiding the other team. The students can use these affordances to make the most beneficial choices. For cognitive, the synergy opportunities used here is when the student can see the spacing within the players and decide whether shooting the ball or passing it to improve the team synergy when making a goal. For effective, the synergy opportunity used here is the players are highly encouraged to communicate with their team, understanding where someone has a better position or a better opponent matchup to either pass to or not. For psychomotor, the synergy opportunity used here is the combined communication within the team as well as seeing the spacing with the players. The student can throw, shoot, and catch the ball while avoiding an opponent. And then for the last 5 minutes, at the end of the lesson plan, the teacher will ask the students the assessments for the at the end of the lesson plan, the teacher will ask the students the assessments for the domains as well as the surveys the students have to answer and pass back to the teacher, and which will only take around 5 minutes. And these are the assessments. For psychomotor, the teacher will ask questions such as, how do you feel about overhand compared to underhand? Or how does it feel when trying to avoid or play against an opponent? Have shoutouts ready for the students. Have shoutouts ready for the students that performed really well or improved during this lesson plan, such as students who improved their overhand throwing or their communication skills. You can use side notes taken during the class to support these claims. For cognitive, you could give them a worksheet that I have filled out right here. You give them this slip that has the lesson plan number 2 worksheet and have them answer, explain the importance of open space in playing sports related games. Have them answer the quick question briefly and pass back the player. Pass back the paper. And lastly, for effective, the teacher will ask the students to raise their hand and acknowledge orally the contributions and strength of others in the group. Phrase these as positive shoutouts to encourage positive reinforcement. All right, and that is my lesson plan. Peace, y'all.